ladies and gentlemen. Well, looks like we're live. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to another Market Open live stream. So, today, it's Tuesday. We've got AMV, this recent IPO. Looks like it's gapped up this morning. This is on my continuation watch list. Pretty sure the man himself made $5 grand on this morning. Excuse me, Kat. You're going to have to get out of the way. You're going to have to. Yeah, thank you. Okay. So, what do we got for continuation? As per usual, I'll look at all the stocks from yesterday and see what we can see for potential continuation into today from yesterday's movers. Today, we had APDN. We had some news break right here. Some companies buying up a whole bunch of DNA something or other. So that was the catalyst there. I'm not so convinced that this thing is going to provide much opportunity. I was right on the stock yesterday. I didn't do very good on it. TOPS, or should I say POS? Yeah, I'll keep this one on watch too. But I'm not very optimistic of this one. I don't really like trading this stock anyway, but it's up pre-market. I'll keep it on the continuation list. AMV, obviously that one's up. That's to the gap scan, or to the gap list. MPTI, no. PEGY, definitely keeping that. FNGR, gonna keep that. And SNTI, this one's kind of fading off now here. So, with that being said, people are funny. So I'm gonna get rid of SNTI and MPTI. Keep these on the continuation list for today. Well, actually, in reality, pretty light volume move on this thing. 14,000 shares is all this was from 22 to 28. I know this one's a lower float. So you got 10 minutes to the bell. Gap scan looks pretty decent this morning. There's the gappers from yesterday. Don't really like them. I'll add SOBR to the continuation list because sometimes this thing can get some good opportunity and gotta go. Okay, got some beautiful sourdough baking. Let me look at, see, a Gap scan. We've got, let me get rid of edit list. Watch this. Okay. So for today, got dice, forge, lace, and then of course AMV. I'm gonna keep that on the list just because I don't know if I'm gonna end up trading that one. And that's pretty much it. JOBY maybe. Lit volume though. APRN maybe. Whoops. That's not what I meant to do. And APRN. Okay, so let's check these out. Dice. This one's up 84%. It's a little bit more expensive though. That's the thing I don't really like about it. Dice. 36 million share float, so that's good there. Forge. Oh, this one's not. I might as well just get rid of this one right now. There's no range on this. I'm going to go ahead and just delete it. No interest in that. Lace. This one looks pretty strong too. It's a little bit cheaper. For the one that I like right now, it's a recent IPO. Bring me over some of this resistance. So I'll mark out a couple lines here. Got low of this day is 256 rather. And the high of this day being 287. So that's that for this one. We'll see if we get some nice opportunity. Got 5 minutes of the open now. GOBY or JOBY rather. I don't know what she's doing. She's making so much noise. I messed up my sourdough, babe. These are like the worst sourdough loaves I've baked in a long time. Yeah, I over fermented them. Yeah, because I went to, you know how I put them in the oven to proof, and I accidentally left the light on for the whole time, and it was like 95 degrees in the oven just from the light, so it was way too warm, so it overproofed. Which is unfortunate. Okay, so we got 4 minutes to the bell. JLBY. A little less interested in this one. Actually, I should look on. Here's Popeye U.S. Navy order. Okay. So I guess that's the catalyst there. What was the other one I wanted to look at? APRN. Similar kind of setup. It's kind of a dead cat bounce. I don't really like the pre-market chart very much. It gets real okay. Kind of a weak catalyst too, as far as I'm concerned. FNGR. This is one from yesterday, or from continuation from actually dating back till the 26th of last month. So this thing's been active. The daily chart looks pretty nice on this thing. It's gonna open up here around 19. I think I'm gonna be watching this one certainly on the open though. Okay, so side charts. I'm gonna put APRN. Gonna put. It looks like the markets are gonna gap down again today, about 0.5%. APRN. Put dice over here, and then AMV. Suppose probably won't end up. I don't know. We'll see. I might trade this thing, but it's a little bit tricky. It's a really small float. I'll put FNGR over here too because this thing could give some really nice surprise momentum. Looks good for continuation. And what else we got? JOBY. I'll put this one on side chart for now too. Oh. All right. Well, a minute till the bell. In a little bit here, I'm gonna have to go take something out of the oven. Kind of mistimed it a little bit. Wanted to have it out before the market opened, but you know what? It is what it is. So I'm gonna be watching APRN. No, I lied. LASE lace on the open here. Yeah, man, out of the oven. I baking off my sourdough this morning, and man, I messed it up. I what I like to do when I ferment it. Well, let me be focused here quickly because market's about to open. There is the bell. That's right. Yeah, this was this was the recent IPO. Oh shoot, I forgot to change this. Oh, it's gonna go right through resistance there. Okay. Pre-market high here was 80, and it's gonna go right through. See how deep this 1 minute pullback goes. Looks like buyers are coming in on these dips. See, this candle can hold higher. I want to see it retrace this nice green candle here. 78 by 79. 75. Yeah, I'm not going to get in there. A little bit heavy. Oh, what else we have moving right now? Yeah, that's kind of what I was afraid of here when on this pullback. Thought about, I considered an entry here at 77, but I've seen this all too many times. Yeah, so anyway, what I was saying is yeah, I messed up yesterday when I was fermenting mine. What I usually like to do is I'll do an auto lease where I just mix flour, water, let it sit for like a half hour. Oh man, I shouldn't talk. I should be focused. Anyway, turn the light on in the oven. It usually gets to be about 80, 85 degrees, which is a nice temperature for that. And then I'll ferment it for the first little bit. And then, yeah, I forgot to turn the oven light off. Well, for the whole stage of the bulk fermentation, so it was way too warm. Here's back at 80. 84. Ooh, that did that bought up nice. See if that pullback gets bought. Nah. Got filled at 88. That's kind of ridiculous. Yeah, it's holding highs from this level here. Can we continue to hold? Just 95. It's approaching 3. Target of 370. Okay. Why specifically 370? It's holding up nicely here. But I don't want to be caught in a flush. 92. I'm going to wait on this here. Yeah. It's a higher volume. Pull back there. Yeah, this is great to see. 14 million shares of volume traded already on this thing. I don't think I put dice on a side chart, did I? No, it looks like APRN. This one's making moves too. Ah, shoot. Hold on, there's timer. Yeah, so as I was saying, I mistimed it. Did not want to be doing this well in the first few minutes of the market open. Well, it held 80. Yeah, that was a nice pullback there. It's $3. Whoa. Big flash down. That was pretty crazy. Big sellers at 3. That was a crazy drop. Like a split second. Yeah, and here's FNGR. I was optimistic about this one coming into today. But the volume's a little bit lighter right now. I'm going to continue to watch Lace, I think. Still holding 80. Hmm. What do I want to see for an entry? Kind of hard to buy right here. Guess maybe the break of 3. It's 304. It's just getting a little bit, just churning up there. I don't want to see that. Yeah, not a very good break of 3. TOI is halted? Oh, it was. Okay. No interest there. Yeah, so far these drops are getting bought up pretty nicely. But that flash down right there was a little worrisome. Markets are selling off. Yeah, this pullback here, I considered an entry. And then after this drop, I didn't really want to take it because it was a pretty high volume candle there. But, hmm. It's holding 3. Thing about this is I'm looking for a lighter volume pullback, and that's not what we're getting. These pullbacks have been on pretty heavy volume. It's the only thing right now. Got this ascending support going. Could be worth a stab here. Shoot. Okay. I gotta turn off the oven. Okay. Tried to make that mistake again. APRN is dropping. AMV is pushing. It was just a double top there off highs. Yeah, I'm not convinced here. Yeah, like you said, not holding 3. I would rather see it. Maybe not down to 80. That's trying to view up. Maybe to 86. It's holding 90. Big rejection there on AMV. That's a tough one to trade. It's 90. Pulling back here now. Volume is starting to decline. Which is what I wanted to see on a pullback. Only 200,000 shares on the last candle compared to 1 million on this candle. Still holding 90. Let's see if it pulls back more though. See, why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't I take the entry at 87? Was looking for 87 on a light volume pullback. That's what we got. Tap 87 from the support. But for some reason, I just watched it and didn't take the entry. Definitely not an A+ setup, but it's a decent pullback right there into previous resistance. Yeah, so I don't know why I'm just... PEGY popped. PG and FNGR, but yeah, that's the thing. Slight volume. Second. So we're kind of coming into a bit of a wedge here. See which way this thing breaks. 98. Yeah, now we got this topping red candle. Don't really want to be buying a dip off of that. Yeah. Pulling back here now. Where are we going to find support? Potentially 86 or 83. 80 is also that key level that we were just discussing. So anyway, as I was saying about the dough, I was fermenting it, and I like to ferment it around like 80 degrees. So I'll stick it in the oven and turn the light on for a little bit, and then that'll warm up the oven to a nice ambient temperature. But the problem was yesterday I forgot the light on for the entire 6 hours, whatever it was that I fermented. That I did the bulk ferment. And by the time it was done, it was way too warm. It was like 90, 95 degrees, and it puffed up way too much. So I over fermented it. And so it didn't have any oomph in the oven, so it didn't have any good oven spring. So I push back towards 3, and again with a topping red candle. Okay, real quickly, I'm gonna look at other stocks from today. APDN. Doesn't look very good here. GOBY. JOBY, no. Dice. This one's a little more expensive, and it's just kind of fading off the open. So definitely the eyes were on Lace. 23 million shares of volume traded. Volume started to decrease a little bit, though. And we're just kind of in this consolidation period, but it's a bit choppy here. Markets are down. Q's down over 1% now. SPY is down 0.7%. Well, it tapped 3 and then rejected off that level there. So we're getting pretty low volume on this little pullback area here. consider an ad. I'm gonna look for it in a couple pieces. Yeah, man. Like I'm just not being decisive enough with my decision making. Like right here when it pulled back, I said I was looking for 87 on a pullback. It pulled back right to 87. Didn't take an entry. And now here, light volume wanted at 90, and I just kind of left it. Now we're at, like, what is the root of this indecision? We're back at 303, 304. Is 3 gonna hold? Yep. There's 14 cents. And that micro pullback is gonna get bought up. Now it's like kind of chasing it up here. You can pull back here to 305. Take it. It's I don't know if it's gonna give that pullback though. Man alive. Same kind of thing as yesterday on SLBR, man. Gotta sort this out. Except XLBR, I took the entry and then got chickened out. Sing strong. Same kind of thing as SLBR yesterday. I'm just not trusting my analysis. On this pullback here, it was lighter volume from this area. I said if it pulls to 37, take an entry. Pulled to 37, didn't take an entry. Then gave 11 cents. Pulls back here. Said I'd look for an ad right here on low volume. On this low volume pullback. Didn't take an entry. And then it went 23 cents. Same kind of thing on SLBR, except on SLBR yesterday, I took the entry and held it for a matter of seconds. Didn't think it was a good entry, and I got out. Man, so I guess it goes to show that I've been having a decent look on these pullbacks on lower volume. But I'm just not trusting my analysis. I'm just not being decisive enough. Why? Why? Oh, I know it's psychological. I definitely agree with you there. Just got to figure out the root cause. It's hard to find an entry now up here. I mean, maybe we can look for another pullback, but I don't really want to be buying for a breakout. It's just kind of grinding up higher now. Big seller at 15. Where are we going to find some traction? Maybe 306 was the top of this candle here. Yeah, I don't really want it there. Goodness, man. Yeah, and now I'm just kind of chasing it, trying to buy a pullback. That's not a good pullback. Trying to time the bottom on this kind of a move is so difficult. And I'm slightly in my head. FNGR, this one's about to pull away. Looks like it wants to break out here. It's a pretty light volume, though. I'm not really too interested. Only 1.5 million shares, or 1.4 million shares of volume traded on the day. Yeah, I don't know why I try to buy this dip. It's kind of against one of my rules, is not buying the first 1 minute candle that starts to turn red after a move up. Because sometimes those can get flushed on. It used to be a mistake I made very often. And I just kind of did it again here. I'll pull back to 91 there. Yeah, I saw that. That's pretty good. Usually in this case, it would pull back to 89 and then reverse just to stop you out and then go. No, of course, Margaret does not give a F about our feelings. That is for sure. But yeah, for me, it's certainly the psychological aspect of it that's, I mean, the most difficult. Obviously, trying to learn the analytics and the chart is a whole other thing. Um, but yeah, I feel like the psychological aspect is honestly more difficult than the analytical aspect. And it's kind of interesting though, because it brings out a lot of kind of your inner thoughts and motivations and stuff. Like for me, something that's always been tricky is yeah, is just accepting that like looking at profitable traders, you're gonna be wrong. 30 to 40, maybe even 50% of the time, depending on your risk to reward. And something that has been taking me a bit to get past. And I think that's kind of my motivate. That's kind of the reason why I chicken out on some of these trades and don't want to hold them or don't take the entry. Is because then I quickly second guess myself because I don't want to end up being wrong or something. I guess. Um, but just trying to work through that. But I know if I can just put in the work, put in the time, put in the effort, I'll be better for it. Not only in trading, but in other aspects. Like I like to go. I've started frisbee golfing recently, and that's another thing where it's very psychological. If you throw a couple terrible throws, you kind of beat yourself up, and then you get tilted. I mean, potentially. Um, just got to work on being, emotionally rigid, I guess. Maybe not rigid, but just have the fortitude to not let yourself get frustrated when things don't go how you think they should. So yeah, I guess it is just the fear of being wrong and then the fear of getting frustrated at being wrong and then getting kind of thrown and tilted. And that's what's causing me to not follow through with my execution. This is a really nice entry right here. This little low volume consolidation right in this area. I just left it. But you know what? It is what it is. Another day on, or another day in the books, another day of experience, another lesson learned. Everything is kind of fading off right now except for lace. It's holding up. All of the gappers pretty much today, excluding lace, are fading off. One second. Rookie mistakes. Oh man. Anyway, I was saying, correct me if I'm wrong. But I didn't think that the volume weighted average price, being the yellow line here, would be significantly different on the different time frames. Looks right here on the 1 minute it's 89, on the 5 minute it's almost 86, so it's like a 7 cent difference, which is pretty substantial for this price stock. I don't remember that being the case when I first started using this indicator. I thought it was consistent over different time frames. 58, let's see. Yeah, on E-Trade, no matter if I look at the 5 minute or the 1 minute, the volume weighted average price is at the same spot. So, yeah, I don't know. I'll put WNW on this watch list just to see if it ends up giving any moves again. That's a bit wild. PEGY. Whoa, this one just popped 20 cents. Let's take a look at it. Popped 25 cents actually. It topped at 5. Ooh, daily chart looks pretty interesting here. The EMA, 200 EMA is at 06, 506. Right into some resistance here. Wow, nice. It's a bit spready. And the bids are dropping out, and then all of a sudden the spread opens up at like 10 cents. Or maybe not quite that much. Like 5, 6 cents. PEGY. I feel like this thing could heat up today if we hold strong at these levels. Just super low volume days. Yeah, we'll see. Actually, I'm just gonna Google that. It's yeah. See, that's messed up. Then that's what I thought. Um, is volume weighted average price the same on all time frames? It's used on intraday charts, and it is the same regardless whether you're looking at 1 minute, 5, 15, or 60, because the amount of volume that took place with those prices is the same regardless. That's what I thought. So then why on Webull? Okay, maybe I found my issue. Maybe I did find my issue. Okay, so on the 1 minute, I'm using the middle VWAP band. Okay, let's see if this. I'm using the 14 VWAP. The thing that I don't like about this is you can't change the duration. Let's see something quick. Yeah, but even still, they're not the same, and I don't understand that. It doesn't make any sense. Why would the volume weighted average price be different on the different time frames? It's a bit annoying. I don't know. Weird. Okay, I'll be watching lace in this area on this pullback. PEG PEGY. It's kind of a nice flag there. Let the rest ride. Probably a good plan. 309. Yeah, it's making a push here, but comparison to the last few legs up, it's pretty light volume. Though it's increased from the breakout of this range here. So where's an entry here? Base it's not big boy trades every day. Yeah, I kind of have been having the opposite problem, where I'm just looking for base hits and I end up cutting my winners too quickly, and then when the setup is nice, I'm just not letting it play out. Looking back real quick on SLBR. Now let's do my recap from yesterday. Man, I was in on this dip here. And from this dip, it gave over 10%. Yet I took like 1 or 2 cent profit because I thought that it was going to maybe flush below VWAP. Instead of letting it just play out and having a little bit more patience. So with these kind of trades, I really do have to practice patience. It's very different than trying to catch a breakout trade. We'll get there. I'm confident in that. That's all I can say. Very confident in that. Have you listened to um trying to remember, Dr. Steenbarger at all. He's a psychologist that coaches now at S&B Capital, and I've listened to a couple of his um, trading psychology lectures, and they're super interesting. Yeah, really good. There's actually one of them that I'm gonna have to go back and listen to because I was doing it while delivering and I wasn't able to pay super close attention. But yeah, he's got some really valuable points. Yeah, I've got to practice some of the techniques that he was talking about. It's kind of similar to what is it called? Stoicism, which is basically the philosophy based around meditating on like the most difficult thoughts, like meditating on, death or, super hard things to the point where, I don't know a lot about the philosophy, but the idea is um, you know, to be to meditate on the most difficult things so that little trials and tribulations and whatever that happen in day-to-day life, it's very easy to just turn the other cheek and not get affected by it. Kind of similar to what he was talking about with, you know, practicing, getting yourself into a really focused state, and then practice like those visualization techniques. I thought that was really interesting. So thank you again for putting me on to the SMB Capital YouTube channel because that has been very helpful. I'm going to continue to study from that. Don't do it. Don't drop. Oh, let's take a look at PEGY. They're holding it pretty high here. We'll see if we can continue to consolidate and make a move up. Only thing is, we've got the 200 EMA right here that it kind of got stuffed by. Oh, I forgot to change this. It's right. Whoops. I want to send a message to Webull and ask why their volume weighted average price is different on the different time frames. Because it's not supposed to be. It's not supposed to be the case. And we're coming up on 9:30 right now, so it's been about an hour. Not moving as fast as I would like. Stop. Yeah. Yeah, I've kind of got a similar thought. It's consolidating here, which is good, but I would have thought this would have made an attempt towards highs. And yeah, volume's kind of drying up here. Good grief. 25 times 3? That's kind of insane. That's actually kind of nuts. Invite one friend, get 25 fractional shares. For one referral, 25 fractional shares value between 3 and 3K. So at the minimum, if you get $3 a share, it's 75 bucks. It's kind of worth it. Yeah, yeah, me too. PGY is a bit wild. Ooh, there's rejection there. Oh my lord. Okay, there's the drop. And okay. Do I dare try it on this pullback? Probably not. It was a good call to take some off in this area. 1.3 million shares of volume on that 1 minute candle. I think that's the biggest. Well, except for the open here, 6 million and 1.5 million there. But that otherwise, it's the biggest volume candle. Yikes. Hate to see it. And this has been all too common recently. I've been seeing flush after flush, like every day. There's a 10% drop. Crazy. You know, maybe it was worth a stab trying to take this down here with a tight stop, but it's not really a setup that I like. Sometimes I'll take the panic flushes, but not really in this context, and it's something that I've been trying to avoid more recently because it's been getting me into trouble a little bit. Because sometimes it can be hard to time the bottom of this. Granted, this was kind of a false break over these levels, and then it rejected. Bye-bye, Lace. Well, unfortunate. Yeah, and right now, doesn't look like there's much else that I'm really interested in trading. All the leading gappers are now below VWAP. Real quick. Different prices. intraday time frames. Curious as to why the view up reflects different prices on different intraday time frames. To my knowledge, the view up indicator should be exactly the same on different intraday time frames because the volume is exactly the same. Don't need to say exactly again. Okay, let's see what they have to say. Okay. Maybe I'll just send a screenshot. Okay, there. Let's see what that say with that. And as far as I'm concerned, right now there's really nothing to trade. Just in terms of small caps looking for momentum. APDN from yesterday is trying to curl, but no interest in that one, at least right now. Whoops. Shoot. Wish you could control Z if you accidentally move levels. Because sometimes I do that where I'm trying to drag the chart around and I end up grabbing a level and moving it, and then I can't remember exactly where I had it. So again today, I was a little bit indecisive. And hesitation always gets you killed. It's the old saying. Okay, PEGY. Oh, that one also flush below VWAP by a good chunk. 20 cent. Oh, yeah, like a 35-cent drop there. HKD is halted. This was that wild Chinese IPO. I mean, I don't really have any desire to trade this thing. I'm guessing there's not any news. Wow, look at this, though. It's up a lot. 20%. Oh. Oh. So this is something that I learned recently. That's been very helpful. So basically, with sourdough, now it's unrelated to stocks, but you know what? There's not a lot to cover right now. Be watching Lace, be watching PEGY. Um, but this was huge for me, and this was the mistake that I made yesterday. Is with this. Let's see if you can really see it. So on the bottom x-axis you have time, y-axis you have number of microbes, and the idea is, on this curve here, when they're going exponentially, it's going exponentially higher as they're eating the food in the dough, multiplying, etc. It's going exponentially. It tops out for a certain amount of time, and then they start to die off at a very fast rate. And so the idea is, after you ferment and proof it, you want to be baking it in that area there. And so the problem that I had, and the reason why I didn't get any kind of oven spring, is because I fermented it too long, and I was probably throwing it in the oven when we were right there, so it was starting to decline, and that's why I had no life left to give any kind of an oven spring. So that's the science lesson for today. Yeah, probably not. If you ferment it till it's doubled in size, that's ideal. So like what I did do when I first started is I would actually take a little sample out, like a couple ounces of the dough out, and stuff it into a small jar, and then just wait for that sample to double in size, because it's easier to tell based on a little sample versus looking at it in a bowl. It's kind of hard to tell. Um, but eventually I just got good at judging it because I used the same bowl every time, so I just knew what level it got to, and then it was good. And yesterday it was definitely exceeded past that, so it was probably 2.5 times the size. Um, yeah, and I could tell this morning when I took it out of the fridge that it was way too puffed up, and I knew it was going to be the case. So instead of it rising, it just kind of pancaked out. Lay's continuing to drop here. Just going to get bought up, but I'm not interested in this here. Let's see what this one does. Nothing really else to watch right now. So it looks like it resumed higher. I guess I wasn't able to see the price action, but it did look like it resumes higher and it dips and rips. So maybe this one was worth paying attention to, but eh. Gotcha. Yeah, that's the goal. And yeah, like I said, for me, it was just a matter of I fermented it for the same amount of time, but way warmer temperatures, so it accelerated the fermentation process too much, and then by the time I realized it was over fermented. Maybe in hindsight, though, the mistake that I made is I still stuck it in proofing baskets, proofed it room temp for the same amount of time before I put it in the fridge. But in reality, I probably should have just put them in the baskets and stuck them in the fridge right away. So extra time sure did not help. I should rename my channel Isaac Trades and Bakes. Make trading and sourdough content. No, that was actually something that I considered before I started this. Because before I started this channel, I was contemplating doing it for several months, and before that, kind of when I was getting into sourdough, I was like, yeah, it'd kind of be cool to make some videos of my process and stuff. But nah. All right, well, it's quarter to 10, quarter to 11 Eastern market time. And so usually the most opportunity would have already taken place, which it did on LASE before we flushed down here. And out of the gates, made a 15% move. Wasn't able to get green on it. One thing that has truly been helpful that I'll continue to do is going back and watching me trade or miss trades in post time, and then really being able to look at the level 2 and the tape as as it takes place. Because it gives you a different angle as you're looking at it versus doing it in real time. Do you guys get Kerrygold butter imported where you live in Canada? Because if you do and you've never gotten it, highly recommend. It's nothing better than a nice piece of sourdough with some nice Kerrygold on it. You've no idea? Okay. Well, it's Irish butter, but it's from grass-fed cows, and it's I mean a little bit more expensive per pound, but it genuinely tastes so much more flavorful. It's so good. Not to mention that grass-fed fat has a better fat profile than corn-fed. It's a little bit better for you. It's more nutritious, but it tastes significantly. I mean, it seems wild to say, but it really does make a big difference in taste. Like after getting it for 7 months, then being stingy and going and just getting regular sticks of butter, it's like, man, this doesn't have much flavor. It's a game changer. So next time you go to the store, you should look for it. But with everything going up, I used to be able to get it at there was a big grocery store here that's cheaper than every other place, and it was like $3 or like maybe even $2.99. And now like a year later, it's $3.99 for a half pound, so it's a little bit expensive. Grass fed is good. Oh yeah, grass fed's the way to go. I recently made a connection with a farmer in a neighboring city of mine, just like 20 minutes away, that um, raises and sells organic grass fed. So that's pretty awesome. I went in with an uncle of mine and got a quarter of a cow, put it in the deep freezer, and it is the best. I can confidently say the best beef that I've ever had. Okay, what's going on here? Blow you up, below. Dice is trying to curl back up, but that one's more expensive, and I'm really not that interested in trading it. Oh, bison. Oh, that's cool. I'd like to be able to get my hands on some bison. I don't know if have I ever. I think I've had it in the past, but it's been a long time. I'm sure there's places around here that sell it. I've just not really looked for it. Nice. Heck yeah. Ugh, why do you do that? It's like it won't let me adjust the size of the level 2 if it's on the other window. If I go to adjust it here, it just automatically pops to this default size. I have to bring it over this monitor, drag it down, bring it back over this monitor, drag it down. A little too short, or too long still. It's weird. I gotta go open some windows. I hate to do it, but I have to close my windows for the first, or at least my right hand window for the first like half hour of when I'm streaming because that's where the sun comes up, and then it's right on my face and right on these two monitors, and then it ends up being like I can't see them. But it always feels like such a shame to keep out the nice natural sunlight. Scans, what do we got? Yeah, HKD. Don't really care that much about that one. Hmm. You know, with the market seeing all this pain recently, I wonder when we're gonna have an opportunity to be buying some good dips for like longer hold trades or kind of investment style. Well, no, I'll call them trades. Obviously, it's going to be impossible to time the bottom of when this is going to be, kind of start reversing. Also, I was reading something the other day that, given a bunch of economic factors that are kind of over my head in the macro picture, we could see like basically no GDP growth over the next decade, and the market could theoretically kind of just trend sideways. Read that, but I've read a couple different ideas. That would be a bit of a bummer. Granted, as day traders, they're just looking for volatility anyway, but I don't really like the term day trade. I kind of wanted to change my thumbnail. I feel like in my head, day traders is associated with people that like to flex nice cars and be like, I got this from day trading. Sign up for my course, and then you can get one of these cars too. For some reason, that's kind of the correlation that I have between day trading. It seems a little bit like of a baity phrase. Well, I do, but it's in the shop right now. Yeah, I think it's gonna go sideways for a while. Yeah, yeah, I could very much see that. If you're interested in crypto at all, I don't know, we've never really talked about crypto, but you should check out a podcast I just listened to, and it's really interesting and gives some really good insight as to the fundamentals behind Bitcoin and why it's basically talks about proof of work versus proof of stake. And honestly, this is another podcast that I'm gonna have to go back and listen to again because some of the concepts were a bit over my head, or just not over my head, but a lot to wrap my head around. But yeah, basically, where Bitcoin is based on proof of work, and all other coins are proof of stake. And basically, the difference is proof of stake is kind of based in abstract reality, where proof of work is actually based in physical reality. So there's actually physical aspects backing up Bitcoin. Yeah, researched a couple years ago. Okay, yeah. So I plan on kind of having a longer term Bitcoin position, just kind of as a not a hedge, I guess. It's not really the right term, but I guess just as an investment. If I remember, I'll put the link in Discord. If you want to listen to it, cool. If you don't, that's fine too. Well, we're approaching 10 o'clock, and it looks like I don't know if we're going to get much more opportunity. Blaze is, I mean, it's still kind of holding up, but didn't start fading off. Buyer stepped in here, and then when it flushed again, buyer stepped in. So we'll see if this thing can, well, maybe give some opportunity in the next several hours, but as of right now, I'm not interested in it. I will add HKD to the list, just in case. Yeah, it doesn't look bad here. But this thing's a bit wild. A bit more of a gamble, it seems. $20 million share float. You know, I really wonder how accurate the information is on FinViz, because sometimes it seems like it's not accurate at all. Other times it is. I'm not sure what you use for like checking float and other fundamentals and stuff like that. But if you know of anything better than FinViz, let me know. Well, guess yeah, just watching, being patient right now, seeing if anything starts to move. If we don't get anything in the next bit here, though, I might look to wrap things up. And as always, I'll be scanning throughout the day and see if we can see if we get some movers later on. But I really got to live and learn. Can't make the same mistake that I made yesterday. I need to do my recap from yesterday yet, but just those two trades that I took and Power Hour were not good setups at all. And I guess it was just kind of boredom trades, and that was, yeah, pretty unacceptable. Like PEGY, I'm trying to remember where I got caught in one of these red candles trying to buy a pullback, but it was heavier volume and I can't remember exactly where. Dilution tracker is good information. Okay, never heard of that. It doesn't have float information. Oh, I have to log in to get the float information. Oh, okay, not for float. Okay, gotcha. All right. Well, where it stands right now, it's 10 o'clock. Um, Here's the leading gappers. APRN is now down 2% on the day. Uh, JOBY retraced its entire move, basically. It's up only 3% now. Lace, we're still holding. It's up 50%. It's below VWAP, but it just doesn't look bad. If we can get reclaim of VWAP, if we can see some more increasing volume, I'll look to trade it. But as of right now, no. Dice. This one I wasn't really super interested from the get. It's a bit higher priced. We'll see what happens with this one, but again, it's kind of faded off. Still up 60%. And then, yeah, the other stocks from today, the continuation and other kind of miscellaneous stocks. I mean, there really wasn't much. Maybe there was an opportunity on this resumption on HKD. Maybe. If you were quick and, yeah, but it's high risk trade for sure. Yeah, and really there's nothing else. We had this hold on WBW, WNW, and it resumed lower and faded off. And just some big red candles. And FNGR. So yeah, with that, I think I'm gonna wrap things up here. So I'll be back tomorrow with another stream. Gonna be looking to do. Let's do my recap from yesterday. Hopefully, yeah, I'll make the time today to do that. But anyway, yeah, I'll be back tomorrow. Hopefully, we get some better action tomorrow. I mean, we had some momentum, had some good action. Wasn't super clean this morning on LASE, but there was definitely some opportunity nonetheless. So I'm gonna have to go back and study from that. But until tomorrow, man, take it easy. Hopefully your sourdough turns out a little bit better than mine did this time. This was a bit of a flop for me, but you know what? Live and learn. So yeah, that being said, I'll catch you later, man.